The preceding podcast has been paid for by the PWO. What's up, guys? It's Tim from the PWO, here to bring you Day 2 on the 12 Days of Starrcade. So, last episode, the first episode, the inaugural episode, we broke down Starrcade 83, the very first one, and we're going to shift gears now to 2 years later, and we're going to talk about Starrcade 1985. This one is another classic from Jim Crockett Promotions, again, before the NWA, before WCW, still Jim Crockett Promotions. This one is really, really special, really, really cool, couple different reasons why. First one is because it is the first show that I can recall being from two separate locations in one night. WWE, WWF did this with WrestleMania 2. That happened about 7 months later in April of 86. We're talking about November of 1985. And the Greensboro Coliseum, once again, was a site along with the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. Two double main events, and I mean both of them were spectacular beyond belief. The one that you do have to check out, and I mean these two guys can never have a bad match, but we're talking about the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, Nature Boy Ric Flair. It was the second time, back-to-back years, that they went in the main event at Starrcade. Kind of sounds a little bit familiar, right? For some of us the newer fans. And talk about Rock and Austin, right? Going back to back, or at least every other year. But the one match that I really, really wanted to kind of sink my teeth into a little bit and give you guys a breakdown here, and it's my pick. It's if you're going to watch one match from Starrcade 1985, it's going to have to be the I Quit Steel Cage match between Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard. Now, this match is for the United States Championship, and it is a grudge match, an epic grudge match. These two guys could be no different from each other. It's just amazing. Oil and water, they're the mix that these guys had, and that's what made this thing so awesome, so real, so personal. The vendetta between Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard, and the build up to this is phenomenal. The action I'm going to kind of go through a little bit. This match just is off the charts, and it really set the stage for the next year to come. And I'm not even going to say the mediocre rise. It's the rise, the coming of Magnum TA. Magnum TA was on his way to becoming the WWE version of Hulk Hogan, or the Jim Crockett Promotion version of Hulk Hogan. And this is the start. This is the start in my estimation, and I'm sure in a lot of people's estimation. This is the beginning of that rise for Magnum TA and the blast off into the almost the 90s. He was going to take the reins. And, this is the start of the Horseman era, and it's just an amazing, outstanding match. Can't talk any better about it. You guys have to check it out. It's going to be one for the highlight reel for sure. And, again, it's a steel cage match. I know I talked about it in the last episode. I used Harley Race and Ric Flair as the opener, as steel cage match. But here again, this one stole the show. Steel cage matches back in the 80s, like we're talking about here, are completely different than what we're seeing here in the 2000s and going into 2021. It's kind of been bastardized, if you will, the concept of steel cage nowadays. To go back and watch some of these matches, and hopefully you guys are, and will continue to take these recommendations moving forward here in the next few days that I'm going to be bringing up on the YouTube channel here. But I really think that the way that a steel cage match, and maybe I've listened too much to like an Eric Bischoff or a Jim Ross and Bruce Pritchard, but I think they're kind of rubbing off on me in a good and positive way, or maybe not. Who knows? But I do believe that the highlight of a steel cage match, the reason for a steel cage match, is to bring two guys together who have a bitter feud and letting it all hang on. This is the blow off, and truly, this Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard match is the blow off to. And I forget how long the feud went on, at least 6 months, probably longer than that, maybe damn well a year. And this is truly, a masterpiece. I talked again last time about the match between Greg Valentine and Roddy Piper in the Dog Collar match, Starrcade 83. Here we take it, 2 years later, and again, another layer, another evolution of the hardcore scene. But just two guys, again, oil and water, the tough hardcore, or excuse me, the tough working man, blue collar champion, Magnum TA, kind of, that first almost people's champion right next to Dusty Rhodes, against this rich snotty, snooty bastard in Tully Blanchard, and he could not have played. Both of these guys could not have played their role any better, and I think that's what makes it outstanding. That's what makes it a classic, an instant classic. If you guys, again, if you check out one match from Starrcade 1985, Tully Blanchard versus Magnum TA is the way to go. I think you'll be highly, thoroughly entertained. And again, I think it stands the test of time. It's still one for the highlight reel here going into the year 2021. So guys, thank you very much. I do appreciate the comments, the feedback, and the viewership from the first episode of Starrcade, 12 Days of Starrcade. This is, of course, day 2. Be on the lookout for day 3. We got some crazy weather coming up here on the East Coast. So wanted to kind of give you a late, I know I'm late recording here, but wanted to give you guys a little bit of hopefully a chance to, for a few minutes here to get some content in and, enjoy yourself, stay safe with whatever kind of weather we're going to be getting. Obviously stay safe with COVID. That's obviously not getting any better, guys, but, we just need to keep plugging away, doing what we're supposed to do, wear our masks, and hope you guys are taking care of your family, your loved ones, taking care of yourselves during this whole time. And again, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I'm going to ramble off the guys here, but myself especially, not counting Mike, Matthew, and John, we all really appreciate all the support and the love that you guys are giving us, the feedback. And this is our way of trying to give you guys a little bit of content during these crazy times. Please, if you are, if you're friends of us, or if you're not here, just listening to us here on the YouTube channel, give us your feedback, and we would love to hear from you, love to interact with you a little bit more, and we want to see what you guys want to hear, talk about, whether it's myself, waiting for the big blowout podcast again. We don't know when that's going to come, unfortunately, but, in the meantime, I'm going to keep plugging away. Got 10 more days of Starrcade, guys, so, again, thank you very much for everything. Stay safe, and one more time, Starrcade 85, you're talking about Tully Blanchard versus Magnum TA, Steel Cage, I Quit match. These two guys really went to war with each other and made a lasting impression that I think still holds true to today, that it's a story that matters. It's two guys who went out and, again, oil and water, I'm going to keep saying that, but two completely different, diverse backgrounds and ways of thinking, and both of these guys really were the foil for each other and elevated each other's career. And again, this is the match that really elevated Magnum TA into the mainstream and into the limelight and into the rise that's going to be the next 10 to 12 months, leading into Starrcade 86. I don't know if you guys know what's going to happen there, but that might be a surprise for you. But you're going to have to tune in next time on the 12 Days of Starrcade. Later.